Hey there, this is Tom with Acme Overland. We are sitting here, beautiful autumn day, talking about what to look for when purchasing, building, digging into an expedition vehicle. This will be kind of generic, but also try and get to a little bit of the nitty-gritty, just questions you might want to ask yourself when, kind of digging in. So I think the first thing, and anyone would want to ask themselves is like, where are we going to go? How long are we going to travel for? Um, if you have a family, that becomes a big part of it with seating and sleeping. So first is, of course, what that part looks like personally, and then digging into where are you going to go? Are you going to just stay stateside? Are you going to be moving into Mexico? Or are you going to go to Canada? Or are you going further south? That also starts to dictate and determine which chassis you might want to build on, or start to consider looking at versus just assuming we're going to go with this chassis versus that one. So those are some quick points. And really, when it comes down to that, the questions for a U.S. chassis would be Isuzu, International, Acela. And those start to dictate, like, are you going to stay stateside? Are you going to go to South America? If you stay stateside, maybe the International, maybe the Isuzu are the right chassis because they're brand new. They do have emissions you have to consider. And if you go southern into South America, those become a little more challenging, perhaps. Doable, but challenging. The Acela, on the other hand, is a mechanical chassis. So that thing kind of doesn't care. And is easy to service. And that's why you might consider that versus something brand new, perhaps. So that's kind of the quick and dirty on the chassis part of it. And as you start to dig into that part, it inevitably starts to define what your living space is going to be, what you need in the back. Are you going to have a motorcycle carrier because you need a motorcycle? Families. There's a couple vehicle options, crew cabs that work well. And then, of course, those also will transition into, will that chassis contain the living space and size that you need for 3 people, 4 people, maybe 5 people. So again, you need to kind of start to work around that. And as you dig into those floor plans, really through and through, there's only, let's say, 5, a handful of really great floor plans as a base. And then, you kind of modify slightly accordingly to fit 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, and all that. So, yeah, you kind of dig into those places with the floor plan, and really all of that starts to kind of feed your definition and final scope of the entire project. So, I think, that's a quick overview, of course, but I think that kind of gets you started with the conversation on what is the vehicle for you and how you get into it. And, obviously that's what we're here to help with as well, and start to kind of define those questions for you as we build or even just start the conversation. So what I'd say is reach out. If you have questions, let us know. And yeah, thanks for taking a watch.